ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सारजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। Hare Krishna. So we welcome you all for today's Friday program, and the rains have started, but still we are so thankful that so many of you all have come. So today we will discuss on power of association. What all we do by coming over here on every Friday is we take association. We take association of each other. We take association of the holy name. We take association of the Lord in the form of His Katha. So association is so very important. They say that whatever we give our ears to, we become like that. So whatever we give our ears to, we become like that, isn't it? Someone keeps on telling you you are a duffer, we actually become a duffer. Someone keeps telling you you are the best, you are the best, you are the best. It works. We become better. We don't become the best. We become better. So it's all very important. Last time I was talking somewhere. It's very important whom we give our ears to. Whom we give our ears to. Very important. This resource Krishna has given us, these 2 years, very important whom we give it to, whom we make it hear, very important. We have to choose that. We should not be giving it to anyone and everyone. We should be having we should be distinguishing, because we become what they tell us. We don't like some people, but unfortunately we have to keep hearing them, so we become like that. Right? So they say, show me whom you associate with, and I will tell you what type of person you are. If we have to find out what type of person someone is, externally I might be looking very good, but internally what I am will depend on what type of person I like to associate with. If I get time and resources, whom I will spend those time and resources with? Will I call up someone and say, oh come on, let's hang out, on one place, go to a beach, go to a shack on a Sunday evening, where I am associating my best time with? That is what it tells about who I am. Right? So this association, again and again, our Shastras are speaking a lot of things about it. Nectar of instruction, Rupa Goswamis. Then the Shad Goswamis, what we have over here, one of the principal Goswami is Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami has written Nectar of Instruction, N-O-I. how we have to practice devotional service. Here, Rupa Goswami gives 2 shlokas. Shloka number 2 on Nectar of Instruction, he says, Atyahara prayascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangasya laulamcha shadbir bhakti vinashati. So he is telling 6 ways in which shadbir, 6 ways in which bhakti becomes what? Vinashati, vinash ho jayega bhakti ka. What are those things? We'll repeat this. It's very, very important for us to understand. Okay? Atyahara prayascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangasya laulamcha shadbir bhakti vinashati. Translation is, one's devotional service is spoiled when he becomes too entangled in following 6 activities, eating more or collecting more funds than required, over-enduring for a mundane thing, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters, practicing the scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them. 5th, associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. And 6th, being greedy for mundane achievements. So if you all are coming here every Friday and so much we are practicing to become devotees, Rupa Goswami is telling what are the 6 things we should not be doing. Then in the next shloka he tells what are the 6 things we should be doing. Okay, so let us repeat this also. Utsaha nishchay dhairyat tat karma pravartate sanga tyago sato vritti shadbir bhakti prasiddhati. There are 6 principles favorable for execution of pure devotional service, which are being enthusiastic, enduring with confidence, being patient, acting according to the regulative principles. 5th, abandoning the association of non-devotees, following the footsteps of previous acharyas. These 6 principles undoubtedly assure complete success of pure devotional service. So if you see both these shlokas we have highlighted in red, both these places Rupa Goswami is very evidently talking about. In the first shloka he is talking about Jana Sangasya, that we should leave off Jana Sangasya. In second he says Sangha Tyaga. Sangha is very, very important. Again and again this word Sangha is coming. You know, sometimes children become very bad and what the children, parents says, white Sangha raglo. Sangha is white kazo. So it's very, very important. Our children are not going to listen to it. It's natural. They are going to listen to only those people of their age group. And we also not going to listen to anyone else but people of our age group. So it's very important what Sangha I am taking. And our Shastras and Acharyas are again and again telling, be very, very careful of a Sangha. All of you all are coming for last 7 years. 7 years. Why? Because we got this Sangha. We got friends over here. That's why we are coming. In spite of rains, in spite of anything else. 1 or 2 Fridays we miss, that's okay. But for last 7 years, why Sangha? If this Sangha was not there, probably today we would have been doing something else. Right? So this Sangha is very, very important. Again, Rupa Goswami has also written one more literature. It is called Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. No, see, ISKCON, why it is so great is, it is just not telling we just practice Bhakti. It is also backing everything what we do in Bhakti with Shastras. It is just not ki ye karo, aise man ghada nahi hai. Everything is backed by Shastras. So Rupa Goswami has written Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, which tells us how to do Bhakti, or not even Bhakti, but how to live a normal life, in which he speaks about 64 elements, 64 things what we have to do. Now 64 is too much. इतने बड़े लिस्ट तो हमसे होगी नहीं भैया, हम कहाँ बात करेंगे? So he knew that. So he said, and do only 5. It's called Panchanga Bhakti. Panchanga Bhakti. And what is that Panchanga Bhakti? Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavad Shravan Mathura Vas Shri Murte Shraddha Ya Sevana. Just 5 things we have to do, especially for a Grahastha. Grahastha don't have time only, na? आजकल तो time किधर है? We don't have time only. So for grahasthas, these 5 things are told for practicing bhakti. What is the first thing? Sadhu Sangha. Second, Nama Kirtan, that is chanting. Third, Bhagavad Shravan. Fourth, Mathura Vas. Mathura Vas means going and staying in a holy place. We do na yatras. Now we are going to start a yatra, right? Shri Murtir Shraddhaya Sevana. Shri Murtir means do deity worship at home. For grahasthas, deity worship is very, very important. If you don't worship deity, we will worship the mirror. We will worship the mirror. When we were young, when we were just in college, we used to spend a lot of time in front of the mirror. Baal aise karke, aise, and one spot over here, we used to see only that spot, and why it is there on my face. And we were so conscious about ourselves. So at home also it's also like that. So if we don't have deity at home, if we don't do deity service at home, we do some other service. See, our Shastra is so perfect. We don't have to waste our time in searching for something or finding something. Sab diya hai idhar. Bas follow karna hai. You know, someone wants to become a doctor. What he has to do? Go to MBBS college, 5 साल का course करो, वो सब पढ़ाई करो, वो activity करो, बन जाएगा doctor. You don't have to invent something, correct? Similarly, if you want to become a devotee of Krishna, and after this life go back to Vaikuntha, this is a Kuntha, then that procedure was also given over here. We don't have to invent something. यहाँ जाओ, वहाँ जाओ, Sunday इधर, Monday उधर, Tuesday उधर, Friday उधर, end of the life I will get something. Don't have to waste our time. Life is very short. उतना time है ही नहीं हमारे पास. So all the things are there in the scriptures. Very specifically, Rupa Goswami tells to do these 5 things, right? And you know, in ISKCON we always say, right? A, B, C, D. A, O. A for? B for? C for? D for? And deity worship. एक बचता है वो यात्रा तो रहती है ना हमारे साल में 2 यात्रा रोज तो नहीं जा सकते ना difficult है, right? So these are the 5 things what we have to do. But very evidently, what is the first thing he speaks about? सब उधर से ही चालू होता है. सब साधु संघ से ही चालू होता है. ये सब गड़बड़ लाइफ में इधर से होता है. All गड़बड़ in life starts from संघ. जैसा संघ वैसा रंग. Even you will not have anything in life, no money, nothing. But if you speak very sweetly at home, that's enough. You're satisfied. But our Sangha is so bad that in spite of having everything, we have been told and we have been programmed like that by the Sangha what we take, that we don't have anything. And what Sangha we take? We take Sangha of mobile, we take Sangha of Netflix, we take Sangha of YouTube, Facebook, online shopping, my neighbor's house, my something else. That is the Sangha that we take. And what all these people are telling, you're useless, you're good for nothing, you don't have anything. And that's how we become. And we waste. The point is that we waste a lot of our time in all these unwanted worries. That's why we are not able to do bhakti. The first thing is Sangha. Sangha को correct करो, बाकी सब चीजें अपने लाइन में पड़ जाएंगी. When a guy gets into first year engineering, parents खुश होते हैं ना. 4 साल बाद तो बच्चा इंजीनियर बनेगा ही. फेल होके भी बनेगा but no problem, but इंजीनियर तो बनेगा. क्यों? पता है एक बार घुस गए वो लाइन में तो बन के ही बाहर आएगा. संघ ही वैसा है. So it's very very important for us to get in the right sangha. But हमारा problem क्या होता पता है? After engineering, after graduation or whatever masters, उसके बाद हम वो छोड़ देते हैं पढ़ाई करना या फिर कुछ ऐसी चीजें करना जिससे हमारा आगे फ्यूचर अच्छा हो, छोड़ देते हैं. We leave that, right? So that is very very important to have the right sangha. So we will discuss more about it. Even the we always says that what is the guideline for devotional service? Sadhu, Guru and Shastra, right? So there was one nice story which is there in Bhagavatam. So we will discuss all this from the Bhagavatam. So here there was one man who was about to die. He was about to die. So then he had heard in pravachan like this that when you are about to die, you should go and take association of devotees. Because Parikshit Maharaj also was dying and he took association and his life was perfect. So he started to search where is a devotee. So he didn't get any devotee around him. So there was a tulsi plant. All of us have tulsi at home. So he went and just hugged that tulsi plant. Okay. And they came. Who came? Yamdutas. They come and we are able to see. जिसका time है ना उसी को दिखता है, और बाकी side वाले को दिखता नहीं है. It's a fact. We should know that. They came and they saw what this guy is doing. He is holding tulsi. He is holding tulsi. And the Yamaraj, their boss, he had told them, whoever is there with tulsi, don't go close to him. That's like beyond our jurisdiction. It's beyond our jurisdiction. We can't do anything. So they said, what to do now? He is not leaving only. They tried to tell him so many things. Boss, your time is over. See this. Your full time is over. Your karmas, everything. You have to come with us. They tried a lot of things. He is not leaving tulsi. He is holding very tightly. So they called Yamaraj. Yamaraj comes, Baba, there are very few things I am scared of. One is this. Someone's holding tulsi means my orders are overridden. I can't do anything. So they called Brahmaji. Brahmaji, please come. You have given me this duty, right? But you see now, there's a problem. तो अभी problem है तो हम लोग क्या करते हैं? Boss को बुलाते हैं ना, boss तुम ही solve करो. So Brahmaji comes and Brahmaji starts thinking what to do. He is holding tulsi. We cannot take him out also. Brahmaji tries with his knowledge. He is made of full of knowledge. Body is made of sat. He tries all his knowledge to tell that guy, leave, Baba, leave. I'll give you something better. He said, no, I'm not leaving. You do whatever you want. He is also not able to do it. They call up Shiva. Lord Shiva comes. Lord Shiva looks at him and he starts dancing. He said, wow, someone is taken center of Tulsi Maharani. So nice. They said, Lord Shiva, please stop dancing. Tell us what we can do. We can't do anything. They have to call up the super boss, Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu doesn't come. He's not like just you call up and he comes. He doesn't come. So they decide that we all will take him there. So they tell, Baba, you come with us. We'll go to Vaikuntha to Lord Vishnu and he will solve the matter. He said, no, I'm not leaving this. You do whatever you want. You will tell me to leave Tulsi and you will take me to Yamaraj, to Yamlo. So what do we do now? They lift up the guy along with Tulsi, put him in a palanquin and hold the palanquin and take it to Vaikuntha Lok. Right? So Vaikuntha Lok, Lord Vishnu is sitting there. And all the gods on the Shri Sagar, on the this ocean of milk, they went and they called the Lord and the Lord appeared. So they asked, Lord, what can be done or what will happen of this man now? His time is up. We have to take him, but he is not leaving Tulsi. He is taken a tight shelter of Tulsi. What will happen to this man? So Lord Vishnu smiled. He always smiles. He is always happy. He says, whoever takes shelter of a devotee or whoever takes shelter of Tulsi at the time when he is leaving, then Lord Brahma, Shiva and Yamaraj puts him on palanquin and gets him to Vaikuntha. And that's what happened. Right? And this is not a story made up by some very, very intelligent or very, very so-called, storyteller. It is there in Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 30th chapter, 34th shloka. It is there in Bhagavatam. Tulyam lava napi na swargam na punarbhavam Bhagavat sangi sangasya mrityu nam kim uttam shishava. Even a moment's association with a pure devotee cannot be compared to being transferred to a heavenly planet or even merging in Brahman effulgence in complete liberation. For living entity who are destined to give up the body and die, association with pure devotee is the highest benediction. And that's why we should have Tulsi. That's why we should wear Kantimala. That's why we should have a jump bag, weed bag which is made of Tulsi. That's why we should put tilak. So many things. So many things. Shastra में इतना shortcut दिया है ना, but something at least we should hold on to. सब त्याग देंगे तो कैसा होगा? भगवान बोलेगा देख भाई मैंने सब तेरे को दिया था बहुत सारे shortcuts. तो एक भी shortcut use नहीं किया. Right? So this is the importance of Sangha. It is a sadhu Sangha, sarva shastra kohe. Lava matra sadhu Sangha, sarva siddhi hoye. Love means a fraction of second. Even a fraction of second, if you associate with a sadhu, our life will be perfected. Now, what do you mean by associating with a sadhu? Associating with sadhu means talking with him, getting instructions from him, and implementing that instructions in our life. That is the meaning of association. Otherwise, just like a side पे उधर बैठने से association नहीं होता है. If you do Goa Engineering College, Margoa में Goa Engineering College है. Some of you, sometimes if you have gone, there are some in the evening. Lot of cows come over there, cows and buffaloes. They, full campus they are there. So that doesn't mean 4 साल के बाद उनको भी engineering का degree मिल जाएगा. Only if you go study over there, implement those things, you will become an engineer. Like the cows and buffaloes also roaming in that college, in the campus. They also become engineers. So संघ में छोड़ इधर आके बैठने से या कहीं और जाके कीर्तन प्रवचन में बैठने से संघ नहीं होता. That is very good. But I have to extract. We always say whenever you come for a Friday program, at least 2 or 3 things what we talk over here, take it and put it in your life. Yata Shakti, whatever. I can do whatever. I water the tulsi every day. I put tilak at least in the evening when I come from office. Whatever it is, become crooked or whatever it is. I at least chant 2 rounds extra every day. Whatever rounds I'm chanting, 1 round extra I chant. So we have to do something. Then only we will send a signal to Krishna that Lord, I want to do something. So who is a sadhu? Prabhupada gave a very simple definition of sadhu. Prabhupada said, one who loves Krishna is sadhu and one who wants to serve Krishna is sadhu. So anyone who loves Krishna, who chants Hare Krishna is a sadhu. Who wants to serve Krishna is a sadhu. As simple as that. So many sadhus, you all are sadhus. As simple as that. We don't have to go and have some very complex definition or do something very different to find one. And what is sadhu sangha? Sadhu sangha or association with a devotee means to hear from them about Krishna and implement it in our way of life. That is sadhu sangha. Otherwise, what is the use? Otherwise, it becomes only knowledge. I know so much, but there is no transformation. Right? So today, we will, as we said, we will discuss based on Bhagavatam, what are the different instances of sadhu sangha described over here. Right? So Bhagavatam is very, very important. Now, a lot of us have Bhagavatam, a lot of us will not have Bhagavatam. So I request, if you don't have Bhagavatam, please buy Bhagavatam and keep it in your house. Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna. You can meet Sud Madhav Prabhu, he will tell you about Bhagavatam if someone wants to buy. It's not different from Krishna. You read it, don't read it, that is secondary, but it is there in your house. It's very, very important. If you have it, gift it to someone. We give people some wedding gift, birthday gift, give them Bhagavatam. That will be the biggest good you can do to them. बाकी सब आप लोग दे देंगे, वो खाया पिया बचाया, it all goes. What remains is only this. What we can do good of someone is eternal good, is give them bhakti. Right? So, Bhagavatam, not able to read. Krishna and Srimad Bhagavatam is a book containing of topics exclusively about Krishna and his devotees. And these 2 books, Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, are special. Means to, what is that? Special nectar of words of Krishna. What is Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita are the instructions of Krishna. He told Arjuna, ye karo, ye karo, ye karo, ye karo, ye karo. But he is a teacher. But if you want to know about the teacher, Bhagavatam. Know about the teacher's family, Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is all about Krishna, about his devotees, about their families. It's an exciting literature to read and to get transformed. It is just not some simple story. Prabhupada says, if you want to learn how to love God or Krishna, then study Bhagavatam. Don't just read Bhagavatam, study Bhagavatam. And there was one devotee who used to say that ISKCON is the only place, or one of the very, very few places where Bhagavatam is done every day in the morning, every single day, without fail, in the temples, in the centers. So that is the importance of Bhagavatam. So what we can do at home, read just one shloka from Bhagavatam every day. That is Bhagavatam. Itne sare audios hai, just play something for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. That is Bhagavatam, right? So Bhagavatam has 12 cantos. It's a Puran, it's a big Puran. It is just not one book. 12 cantos in it, right? So we'll see each of these cantos. How many? Okay, fine. I'll not ask that question. So first canto of Bhagavatam. So the first canto of Bhagavatam, it looks something like this. Okay. So the first canto of Bhagavatam, there is story of 2 people. One, Vyasdev, and second, Gautam Buddha. Siddhartha, before he became Buddha. Right? So Vyasdev, he had written so many books, so many literatures he had written. He had written Puranas, Itihasas, everything. But he was not getting satisfied. No, you're not getting that pleasure. Okay, I wrote so many things, that's okay, so what? So he met his spiritual master, that is Narad Muni. So Narad Muni told him that you wrote so many books, so many things, but you never glorified the Supreme Lord, Krishna. We never glorified him. When we also used to go to, in front of the deity, whichever the deity is there, we used to just put namaskar, thank you Lord, put some money and then go. We never glorified the Lord. Lord, you look so beautiful. Oh, look at the pagdi of the Lord, look at the dress of the Lord. Oh, look at the flute. How is standing like this? We never. इसको टाइम है बाबा, वो करेगा तो उसका काम, हम अपने काम के लिए जाते हैं. We never have time. But only over here, when we start the bhakti process, it is told to us that we have to worship the Lord by glorifying Him. And that is what exactly Narad Muni told Vyasadeva. That is where Vyasadeva started compiling Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is like a ripened fruit of all the Vedic literature. Right? And when he wrote Bhagavatam and he completed writing Bhagavatam, he was fully satisfied. And now that very Bhagavatam is a source of light for all of us. At the same time, there is Gautam Buddha or Siddhartha that time. He also was perplexed, he also was puzzled what to do. And he saw life, he saw death, he saw suffering people. He said, what is the use of all this? But what happened was, he didn't take shelter of any guru, any sadhu. He took shelter of his own mind. And that's how he developed the philosophy of Nirvana. He said, this is all false, this is all Maya, Shunnism, Zeroism. You just have to meditate on the light, or just meditate into a wide space. Just forget everything, all your material needs will go. Right? So, Narad Muni gave instruction to Vyasadeva and he wrote Bhagavatam. And Gautam Buddha did Shunnism or Voidism, which we call as Mayavada, which is not very, not very complete knowledge. It is incomplete knowledge. It is there for some type of people, but it's not very complete knowledge. So what we get from the first canto is having the right association. If we take association of our mind, we will be bewildered by our mind. But if we take association of the right person, we will be walking on the right direction. Canto 2. Canto 2 is about Narad Muni himself. How many of us know the story of Narad Muni before he became Narad Muni? कुछ पता ही नहीं. इससे भी कुछ था क्या? I don't know. I also didn't know. It was only coming over here, we heard and then we realized. Otherwise we thought Narad Muni is always Narad Muni only, na? तो उसके पहले. But he had a life just like you and me before becoming Narad Muni. And he was son of a maid servant. She was like cleaning the place and getting water and all that. Maid servant. Maid servant child, how much education he will have, how much material comfort or anything else, how much he will have. But one point of time during Chaturmas, this sadhus came to their house and they stayed there for 4 months. And during this period, Narad Muni's mother and Narad Muni served them. And whatever they used to eat, whatever was to remain, he used to eat that, and then clean the place and get water for them. So he did a lot of service. So then, cutting the big story short, he became Narad Muni's next life. Then his mother dies and he dies and then he becomes Narad Muni in the next life. So how he became what he became? By doing seva. So just being associating with sadhu is not enough. Just being taking the right direction is not enough. Doing seva is also equally important. So we have to act, we have to do something. Then only it will work. Right? Third canto is about Lord Kapil Dev. Lord Krishna came in the form of Lord Kapil and his mother Devahuti. Devahuti's husband's name was Kardama Muni. Very, very powerful, very austere. And then Kardama Muni leaves to higher planets and Devahuti is there. So Devahuti goes to her son Kapil, and she asks, tell me, oh my son, you are so empowered and you are so much knowledgeable, tell me, what is my dharma, what I have to do? And then Lord Kapil gives an entire 1 canto of Bhagavatam describing what is that we have to do. And that is what Prabhupada has also compiled in a book called Teachings of Lord Kapil. And there he tells so many things, something exactly like Krishna told in Bhagavad Gita, that what we have to do. So if you see over here, what Devotee did was she took association of the sadhus and she implemented all those things in her life. And later she implements all that thing and she also goes back to the spiritual world. Right. Fourth canto. Fourth canto is about Dhruv Maharaj. I have written class like it's about Dhruv Maharaj. You know the story of Dhruv, right? We always want our children to become Dhruv, Prahlad. Dhruv Maharaj was so small and he just fought with his father and mother, stepmother, and he said, I go to forest and I will practice austerity and I will get a kingdom bigger than that my father is having, or even bigger than what Lord Brahma is having, who is my grandfather. So he meets Narad Muni. Narad Muni guides him. He tells him what he has to do. And then Dhruv Maharaj practices austerity for 6 months. Very, very similar austerity. Standing on one leg, not drinking anything, not breathing. One point of doesn't breathe. And then what happens is, Lord Vishnu comes and gives him darshan. And then he touches the conch shell to Dhru's aid. And Dhru starts beautifully explaining, beautifully glorifying the Lord. So what happened over here? How they took association? They took association and also did a lot of austerity. In Bhakti, there will be austerity. Without austerity, it will not happen. See, it was raining so heavily. People said, oh, we'll go. No, but a lot of you all did that austerity. It's very late in the day, still 2 rounds are remaining. No, he said, no, I have to chant 16 rounds. So you pick up your bead bag and you chant. It is so difficult at times to practice the regulative principles. No, I will practice it no matter what. Austerity. When we do austerity, it pleases the Lord. Tomorrow is very, very auspicious day. Tomorrow is Nirjala Ekadashi. It's a very, very big opportunity that all of us have to practice austerity, to show to the Lord that Lord, I want to get you. Please help me. And I am doing whatever I can do from my side. Right? So it's a very, very important day tomorrow. So Dhruv Maharaj did austerity and he got darshan of the Lord. So that is Sadhu Sangha. In canto 5th canto, it is Bharat Maharaj. How many of you know the story of Bharat Maharaj? All these stories are like 1 full day's lecture only. Not 1 hour, 1 full day we can speak. Bharat Maharaj was a king. And based on his name, he got the name Bharat. It's this Bharat Maharaj. So Bharat Maharaj was a big king. One point of time he renounced everything. And he said, now I know, our Shastras are saying this, I have to live a life of a Vanaprastha. So he goes to forest and he lives a life of bhakti. Very nice, everything going nicely. But one point of time, he sees a very small and a young deer who was just, her mother had just given her birth and she dies. And then Bharat Maharaj feels, so this deer is so small, who will take care? So he gets that deer to his hermitage and he starts taking care of that deer. As the time progresses, he becomes very attached to this deer. And then he slowly neglects his devotional service. One point of time, that deer just gets lost. She just goes somewhere and just doesn't come back. And Bharat Maharaj becomes very anxious. So where is the deer? Where is the deer? He goes to search everywhere. He runs in the whole forest to search for the deer. He doesn't get the deer. And out of exhaustion, he falls and he dies. In his next life, what he becomes? Whatever you remember at the time of the death, we become that. Everything is there. There is no secret. Our Shastra, no secret. Everything is written. He becomes deer. That life goes. And then by Krishna's mercy, in the next life, he becomes Jada Bharat. He becomes a very, what I call it, very, very, Jada Vidya Mandaya, I mean, Gotto. Sometimes he doesn't act nicely, he just sits statue. He becomes Jada Bharat. But that knowledge is still there. He knew what he was in his past life. And then he gives this knowledge to a lot of people and everyone realizes, oh, this guy is something very great. But the point is, when he died, you know why he died? Because he got attached to something else and he neglected his sadhana. He neglected the sadhu sangha. So this is what happens when we leave the sadhu sangha. No matter who we are, even at the level of Bharat Maharaj, he had to take the body of a deer and then become Jada Bharat. And then somehow by Krishna's mercy he was delivered, not otherwise. So this is what happens when we leave sadhu sangha. Canto 9 is about Ajamil. Right? You know the story of Ajamil? Ajamil was a Brahmana. He was practicing everything perfectly. He had a wife, he had children, parents. One day when he had gone to forest, he just sees an event of a man and a woman embracing. And all his desires comes out. And then he says, let me also go and enjoy. So he removes his wife out, throws his parents out, and goes and marries a prostitute. And for years and years and years he lives with her and has so many children. Somewhere in the past, for some time he had associated with some sadhus. And that time they had told him, oh, you have done so nice service of us. You name your child as Narayan in future. Sometimes you have a son, name him Narayan. So the youngest son, what he gets out of that prostitute, he names him Narayan. And the fateful time comes. When they come, they're very dark looking, ugly, the hair is standing, 4 or 5 of them comes. And he saw them coming. And when he saw, he got very scared. And when we are scared, what we do? We take the name of the person whom we love the most or attach the most. We started calling who? Narayan. Who is Narayan? Son. अभी तो बिल्कुल कौन नारायण और जो बिल्कुल नारायण ये तो नाम को भी शॉर्ट फॉर्म में कर देते तो गड़बड़ है ऐसा नहीं करना नारायण को नारायण ही बोलना चाहिए. So he calls Narayan, and moment he calls Narayan, this effulgent 4 people come, who's just like Lord Vishnu, and they stops the Yamdutas from taking Ajamil. And then there's a discussion between them who should take him. They call Yamaraj also comes, and then there's a lot of discussion. And finally they say, okay, since he's taken the name of Lord Narayan, we will not take him. See, he was not calling Lord Narayan, he was calling his son. And if he had not kept the name of his son Narayan, this thing wouldn't have happened. Later, of course, he perfects his life and go back to Vaikuntha. And how he kept his name, name of his son as Narayan? Because he had a small sadhu sangha at one point of time. He served the sadhus. And he implemented. कुछ तो था भगवान के दिमाग में प्लान इसलिए किया उसने ऐसा. Right? So see how much benefited we get by sadhu sangha. Canto 9 is favorite. Prahlad Maharaj. This canto is very famous in ISKCON. Prahlad Maharaj, protection. Prahlad Maharaj, who was his spiritual master? Narad Muni, right? We all know Prahlad, right? We don't have to tell his story. Prahlad Maharaj was who? Prahlada Karani Narsinga Zala tu. Tukaram Maharaj tells Vittal, because of Prahlad he became Narsinga Dev. There was nothing called Narsingadev. He became because of Prahlad. So great Prahlad is. And who was the spiritual master of Prahlad? Narad Muni. And where did Narad Muni meet Prahlad? कहाँ मिला? स्कूल में मिला, घर पे मिला, बाहर मिला, माँ के पेट में, womb of his mother. You see, Shastra was so perfect, means आपको, you cannot say कि I don't have sadhu sangha. I didn't get an opportunity. He was in the womb of his mother Kayaku, and Narad Muni was explaining to her. She slept, but he heard in the womb. And that's why they say, ISKCON, it is very famous. If someone is carrying baby in a womb, say, Baba, read Prahlad Maharaj, read Bhagavatam. But it's not. Otherwise, they go out for some parties and there's so much of loud music, and then child hears that loud music only. And then when he comes out in this world, he wants that loud music only. They say, Papa, why you become like that? You become like that because when he was in the womb, we acted like that with him. The life starts right from there. It starts right from the Garbhadhan Sanskars rather. Not even before conceiving, even before that. Life is not that simple. This human body is so complex. The mind is more complex than that. You think it will just become like that? ऐसे ही हो जाएगा कुछ भी. 2 कलर मिक्स किया, व्हाइट और ग्रीन तो रेड बन जाएगा क्या? जो मिक्स किया वही बनेगा ना? तो बच्चा भी ऐसे ही है. जैसे संस्कार दिए, बच्चा भी ऐसे ही बनेगा. तो सोसाइटी पॉपुलेशन is becoming because of that only chaotic. Become very chaotic. So it's not easy. Means we should be taking extreme care when we are giving birth to a new life. Prahlad Maharaj is an example of that. And what we see over here, he gave Narsimha to protect him. Why? Because Prahlad took shelter of his guru where? In the womb of his mother. And how much happy Lord Vishnu would have been. इतने लोग बाहर है, इतना मैं उनको भेजना हूँ, कुछ करते नहीं, ये तो माँ के गर्भ में से वक्त मत क्या आया, उसको तो मैं बचाऊंगा ही कैसे भी करके, no matter what, मुझे कुछ भी बनना पड़े मैं बन जाऊंगा. And he became that. Right? So when we get very less opportunity to become devotee, and when we become devotee in that very less opportunity, Krishna becomes even more happy. If everything was perfect, Prahlad Maharaj would have got born in whose house? Arjun's house. Or Lord, we spoke about whom? Devotee and Kardama Muni, his house, or some other big devotee's house, and then he would have become a good devotee. Okay, it's nice. That's okay. But he got birth in a demon's house. कृष्णा बोला तो तलवार आएगा ही नीचे, फिर भी वो बोलता था विष्णु. तो ऐसे जगह पे रह के जब हम डिवोशनल सर्विस प्रैक्टिस करते हैं ना, that gives more pleasure to the Lord. Now we can relate with us. We don't get time. The job is very hectic. We have health issues. Very less time I get, but still in that less time I don't use my phone, but I pull the beads. That pleases Krishna. In that very less time I don't go and watch television. I sit and read. That pleases Krishna. In that very less time what I get in the day, I don't go to my neighbor's house and talk about the third neighbor. I hear some Bhagavatam class. That pleases the Lord. I cannot have deities at home, no problem. I sit and I think how I can do Shringar of the Lord. Whatever I have, I do a small bhoga plate and offer to the whatever photograph I have. जो है ये यथा माम प्रपद्यते. Whatever I have, with that if I do bhakti, that pleases the Lord. Krishna doesn't require. He says, give me just patram pushpam phalam toyam. Give me just one leaf. He is not asking, give me. That also he didn't tell in give me tulsi leaf only. Give me any leaf, Baba. Patram. So easy is Krishna's bhakti. And he gets pleased. So lesser the opportunity, we have bigger results waiting for us if we do bhakti in that lesser opportunity. Right? Canto 8 is about Bali Maharaj and Shuklacharya. Canto 8 mein we have the story of Bali Maharaj. And Bali Maharaj had a guru, Shuklacharya. And this Shuklacharya was always envious of the Lord. Always envious of the Lord. So we have to be very careful. We should not be around such people who are very envious of Lord or anyone else. Right? So that is what Canto 8 tells us. Canto 9 is about Durvasa Muni. You heard about Durvasa Muni? There was a king called Ambarish Maharaj. And Ambarish Maharaj was fasting one day. And for a long days he was fasting, and he was just about to break his fast, and that time only Durvasa Muni comes. And he didn't welcome Durvasa Muni because he had to break the fast in that time only. We have this parna type, we have to break the fast in that time only. So you just sip just one drop of water just to break the fast. Just like formality, I have broken the fast, he had not taken anything. But that enraged Durvasa Muni. He got very angry. He said, how dare you? I am such a great devotee, I have come to your place and you are not serving me, but you are breaking your fast and eating over there. He was not eating around, he was drinking water. So Durvasa Muni gets very angry. And when we get angry, finish. That other man is gone only. So he removes one hair from his head and chants a mantra and he puts it. And one big demon comes who goes to kill Ambarish Maharaj. So this is what exactly happens when we get angry, no? We get angry, we are also small Durvasa Muni. We also get thinking, वो power नहीं है but we are Durvasa. वो इच्छा है but power नहीं है. Power नहीं रहता ना, power क्या रहता हमको? बस उसको we can only stare at him. Nothing comes out from that stare. We are also like that. So we waste a lot of time in that, right? So he gets a big demon, and the demon goes and attacks Ambarish. Ambarish is Prashant. Krishna wants to save me, he'll save. Krishna wants to kill me, he'll kill. I don't have any power to go and fight this big demon. He is just simply standing over. Immediately a Sudarshan comes and kills that demon, and that Sudarshan then goes behind Durvasa, and Durvasa runs. He goes to Brahmaji. Brahmaji says, don't come here. He goes to Shivlu, don't come here. He goes to Vaikuntha. Krishna says, I leave once, then I have no power only to get it back. Only my devotee can get it back. So then he goes and falls at the feet of, you see the second photograph, he falls at the feet of Ambarish Maharaj. And Ambarish Maharaj stops the chakra of the Lord. Now these are not just some stories. It's a good story. What is a story? They're not stories. This is for us to learn. We, out of our faith and anger, a lot of time offend devotees. No, Prabhupada used to always say we should never offend devotees. Vaishnava aparadha is very, very dangerous. If we keep ourselves away from Vaishnava aparadha, we'll be progressing in devotional service very, very fast. So because of Vaishnava aparadha he did, but ultimately that Vaishnava only forgive him. So this is the example of what we should not be doing in sadhu sangha. A lot of time we sit, we come, we associate for years, but because of small misunderstanding or a small flip of anger for that momentary 2 seconds, 10 seconds or that 1 minute, we become so angry that we break relations which are there for so many years. One thing what we all should be working is on making relationships, not even money. Money will come and go. It's not a saying, that's a fact. If we make strong relations with devotees, that will give everlasting joy. Because at the end of our time, only that devotee will come and chant Hare Krishna for us. और कुछ नहीं रहेगा, फिर वो सिर्फ hospital में buzzers रहेंगे, वो different machines what they will put in our body, only then will be beep, beep, and only ours will be there. And one nurse will come every 1 hour to check whether you are breathing or not, whether I am breathing or not. That's it. Nothing else. Everything will go down. But it's only those devotees will be chanting for us, will be praying for us. So that relationship we should never break. Rather, every opportunity what we are getting for the sadhu sangha, we should use to increase that relationship, make that relationship even more deeper. And that is our only dhan. That is our only wealth. A lot of God must have realized that. Even after a lot of time staying in this world, we realize our only wealth is our relationship with people. Nothing else. And if those people are devotees, what else to speak about? So it's very, very important that when we come in Sangha, we should not be doing this. 10 to 10, there are a lot of stories about Krishna. One of the stories is Kalyana. We had gone to Vrindavan. A lot of you all know, right? That place is still there. Where Krishna jumped from that tree on the hood of Kaliya, that tree is still there. Right? And that tree, Yamuna was there, now Yamuna has gone ahead. So that road is come and still that tree is there. When we go to Vrindavan, right? So we should go to Vrindavan, we should go to Mayapur, Jagannath Puri, places like this, so that we remember the pastimes of Krishna. It helps us. So what happened over here? So here, when Krishna was about to kill Kaliya, he was beating him very badly. It was his wives, the wives of Kaliya, Nagapatni, they came and pleaded Krishna. So Krishna, please forgive him. He doesn't know. For his whole life he was filled with vish only. That's why he acted like that. He was full with poison. So it's for some other devotee who came and prayed to Krishna, and because of that, Krishna didn't kill him. Krishna just left him like that. So at times it will be very difficult for us to be with devotees. But still we have to stay with devotees, because these devotees only will save us. These devotees only will recommend us to Krishna. You see Radharani standing over there, what she is having in her hand? Garland. She is recommending all those flowers, our acharyas are saying all these flowers are all of us. She has put all those flowers in a string and offering to Krishna. Krishna, please accept this son of mine. So even though it is difficult, we have to hang on. So when Krishna comes, the devotees around us will recommend us to Krishna. And when devotees recommend something to Krishna, Krishna always takes care of it. Rather than we telling Krishna, Krishna take me also. He says, last me go and do some seva first. But rather someone else says, oh Krishna, can you please take that devotee back home to God? And Prahlad Maharaj will be saying, Prahlad Maharaj said the same thing. When Hiranyakashipu asked him, kya chahiye? What do you want, Prahlad? Tell, I'll give you the whole 3 worlds only I'll give you. So I don't want anything. But if you still desire to give me something, please take all these people back home to Godhead and let me suffer for all these things. That's what Prahlad said. So devotee is always like that. He says, me last, all will go first. That is our mood of a devotee. That is how we become devotees, right? 10 to 10 is about Krishna and Uddhav. So just like Krishna instructed Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also instructed Uddhava, and that's Uddhav Gita, which is very similar to Bhagavad Gita, very similar instructions. So here, Krishna gives a lot of instruction, and one of the very, very important instruction he gives in Uddhav Gita is about cooperation. In Kali Yuga, one of the most difficult thing is very, very difficult. Even husband and wife cannot cooperate. What to talk about two devotees cooperating with each other? Even two, brothers and sisters, siblings, they also cannot cooperate with each other. There's so much fight, so many disagreements. There be love, but there is still disagreements and fighting. Very difficult. So that's why Krishna tells Uddhava in Uddhava Gita, this cooperation is very, very important. Even Prabhupada, when Prabhupada was leaving this world, one of his final instruction was to all the devotees, you will show me your love by how you cooperate among yourselves. And what is cooperation? Cooperation means what? Cooperation means I will put my point or my ego behind and I will accept someone else. That is cooperation. Otherwise, whenever there are two souls, there will be difference of opinion. No soul can have the same opinion, no matter what it is. So when someone is shouting, the other guy needs to keep quiet. That's what they teach us when someone fights. If both shouts, then there is no end to it. One of them will die only. Right? So it's very, very important that we cooperate. Not only in devotional activities, but even at home. Even with the place where we go. That will keep us peaceful. Otherwise it will not keep us peaceful. We will always be agitated. And when we are in sadhu sangha, this cooperation is even more important. Someone will say, okay, I will put red roses only. Someone will say, no, red roses doesn't do. Let us put yellow. Finish. उसके ऊपर से झगड़ा. भगवान उधर रह गए. फूल कौन सा डालना है उसके ऊपर से झगड़ा. Someone will say, I do it like this. Someone will say, I do it. So one of us has to step back. Say, do it. That's okay, do it. What's so big about it? You know why we don't cooperate? We don't cooperate because we are fearful. हमें डर लगता है. If my point is not taken, what will happen to me and my opinion? We are fearful creatures. We are fearful creatures. We have nothing to fear about. That is one very, very important thing. So when we chant Hare Krishna, when we raise our hands and we chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. When we chant Hare Krishna, we are carrying all our fears to the Lord. Lord, please take care, please help me. So a practicing devotee has nothing to fear of. Nothing to fear of. Very, very important. So when we have this chetana, this consciousness, cooperating with devotees become easy. Otherwise we are fearful. And that fear we camouflage by saying, no, I want to do it because I want to make things right. That's okay, that Krishna will make things right, don't worry about it. Right? So this happens everywhere. This happens at home, it happens in office, it happens in society. How many of us fight with a neighbor for car parking? Right? Smiles on so many faces. It happens. Neighbor, yeah, he is a neighbor. You have to stay with him till you buy a new house. 20 years at least, till the EMI is there, you stay with him. Why do you fight with him? He says, okay, fine, you park, I'll put it outside. Finish it. Right? So the point is, when we get involved in small things, our time and energy gets consumed. So bhakti kabhi karenge phir? Isi mein रहेंगे. And then we start chanting with that mind, I fought with that guy, I fought with that. Krishna there is law. Krishna is standing there only. When this guy will look at me, he is chanting but he is not looking at me only. It happens. It happens. See, our mind, human mind is so very bad that even a small difference of opinion or something happens which is not as per my Krishna, it remains in my mind for 1 day, 2 days, 1 year, for lifetime. We have to practice to remove that thing out. छोड़ दो उसको, निकाल के रख दो बाहर. Remove it out. It is not easy. It's not easy. ऐसा नहीं कि मैं बोल रहा हूँ हो जाएगा कल से. We have to practice. Only that will keep us happy. Nothing else. This key of happiness किसी और के पास नहीं है, हमारे पास ही है. But we have to practice, right? And then practicing devotional service will be happy. Canto 12. Canto 12 is about Parikshit Maharaj. Who was Parikshit Maharaj? He was a king. He was cursed. In 7 days, Takshak will come, a flying dragon will come and he'll bite you and you will die. Right? God forbids, if we come to that and we are going to die in so many days, what will we do? What will we do? We'll get house first. And then slowly we'll mellow down. Abhi chalo, jana hi hai, then we'll do this, we'll do this. You know what he did? He said, okay, fine, I give the kingdom, he left. He said, where are the sadhus? Same thing that what we spoke in the start of the class. He said, where are the sadhus? Let me go and sit and hear. And one of the first questions he asked Parikshit Maharaj, Sukadeva Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj asked him, what is the duty of a person who is going to die in 7 days? And then he narrates the entire Bhagavatam. Right? So we all have 7 days only. Sunday to Saturday, 7 days, na? Sabke paas utna hi time hai. And that's why, all these stories in the Shastras is not for someone else. It's not for the children who are sleeping and just before sleeping you will read them some story. It's not for them. It's for us. These are not some bedtime stories. This is for us to live. And if we catch on to one or two things at least, our life will be peaceful. We will be at least satisfied in life. Otherwise this life is just going on. बारिश आ गया, बारिश खत्म हो जाएगा, फिर कोल्ड सीजन आएगा, समर आएगा, वापस बारिश आएगा, and then growing 1 year older, 10 साल बाद, खत्म, 20 साल बाद, खत्म. Time is just going like this. We have to catch on to some of these things and practice. And it's so great about devotees like Prabhupada who has given us entire thing on a plate. ये लो, ये 4 चीजें करो. So we have to pick up. We have to catch up with this. Otherwise there is no use. Otherwise just hearing. How long? We have to increase and no one else will come. कोई नहीं आएगा. We have to work for ourselves. बाहर से कोई नहीं आने वाला है. बाहर से सब अच्छा दिखता है. How are you? Very good. सब perfect है. We only know what we are from inside. We know we are struggling so much with all our problems. No one will come to help. We only have to help ourselves. Krishna also never helped Arjuna. He was sitting next. उधर बैठा था. कौन बैठा था? अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक. फिर भी इसको झगड़ा करना ही पड़ रहा था. He had to fight his own war. Krishna also said, "I give you full knowledge, Baba, but बाण तेरे को चलाना है." वो मैं जो मैक्सिमम बोलूँगा किधर मारो, इधर मारो, उधर मारो, चलाना आपको ही है. We only have to raise our feedback and chant. तो knowledge से फायदा नहीं होगा. प्रयास करना पड़ेगा. When Dhruv Maharaj got the instruction from Narad Muni, he didn't sit. He acted. He did austerity for 6 months. अभी किसी को नारद मुनि मिले, इतना बड़ा भक्त, नारद मुनि. He would have said, "My life is perfected." I don't know. We took that knowledge and 6 months he did extreme austerity, and then Lord Vishnu came. You see, every of our acharyas, they work so hard, and the whole Bhagavad Gita speaks about this. Bhagavad Gita doesn't say, "Oh, I am a Hindu now." Hindu means Hindu means Gauranga Prabhu, Gauranga Brahmacharya used to say, Hindu means no Hindu. वो कुछ भी करेगा, भाई हिंदू. अरे हिंदू हो तो क्या हुआ? कुछ करो भक्ति के बारे में. When we have to do, कब तक किसी और के लिए नौकरी करेंगे? जिंदगी खत्म हो गई नौकरी करने में. रिटायरमेंट के बाद then still we are missing something else. When we are going to do bhakti of the Lord, we have to remove time. Time निकालना पड़ेगा. कुछ चीजों को deprioritize करना पड़ेगा. नहीं तो नहीं होने वाला. नहीं तो हम इधर ही रह जाएंगे. Sorry, I am doing very hard talks, but that is what our scriptures are telling us again and again. हमारे शास्त्र वही बोल रहे हैं हमको. ये तो क्या फायदा है हिंदू बन के, ये शास्त्र विरासत में मिली हमको, क्या फायदा है? अच्छा मस्त भागवतम कबर्ड में पड़ा है. What is the use? If you have got something, you have to practice it, na? How long we are going to go behind this life, right? So Bhagavad Gita says, "Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan ma prapatate, vasudevam sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabam." Sudurlabam. Such a person is very, very rare. Bahunam janmanam ante. After many, many lifetimes, someone comes to a conclusion that Krishna is the Supreme Lord and I have to worship Him. And Krishna says, such a person is very, very rare. Now who is telling this? Bhagavad Gita. Krishna himself is talking it. Or what more solid proof we want? Krishna himself is telling that this process of bhakti is very, very rare. And devotees are very, very rare. Sa Mahatma. Who is Mahatma? That person who comes to the conclusion that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is a sadhu. Who wants to love Krishna, who wants to serve Krishna, who wants to worship Krishna. So Krishna is telling over here that person is very, very rare. So we have to take association of that person. One of such person was Srila Prabhupada. I'll just skip this, we're running out of time. Yeah. So Radhanath Maharaj says, very, very important statement. To be in association of those aspiring to love God is the ultimate gift of God for us. This is the biggest gift that we have got from God. What is that gift? Association of those people who are aspiring to serve and love God. That is the biggest gift. That's what I said, right? Our biggest wealth is relationship with such people. That's our biggest wealth. बाकी सब तो numbers है. You have 1 crore, you work for more 10 years, it will become 2 crores. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? You require minimum. कुछ bare minimum चाहिए. But after that it just becomes numbers. Numbers. That doesn't help. What helps is relationships. Relationship with devotees, relationship with the Supreme Lord. That relationship we can develop more when we are chanting. You know what is chanting Hare Krishna? Chanting Hare Krishna means we are talking to the Lord. If I want to increase my relation with you, what I am going to do? I have to talk to you, right? So when I am chanting Hare Krishna, I am talking to the Lord. Hare Krishna and Ram, this is the language of the Lord. So we can develop a very strong relation with the Lord when we are chanting. But when we are chanting, unfortunately, I am occupied somewhere else. So how that relation will be developed? That's why if you are chanting में मन नहीं लगता है, chanting होने रहा है, मजा नहीं आ रहा है, तो इधर से लाइट नहीं जल रही है. Why? Because we are not invested. When we are chanting, we are thinking something else. When we sit in the photo of the Lord, looking at Him, remembering His pastimes, if we chant, it is perfection. And tomorrow is one such opportunity. Tomorrow is Nirjala Ekadashi. You know how many Ekadashis in a year? 24. महीने में 2 रहता है, 12 महीने में 24. If we are not able to do some, if we do only Nirjala Ekadashi, we can credit equivalent to all the Ekadashi. So I am not saying do Nirjala Ekadashi tomorrow. You can do fasting as per you want. So fasting is not that important, but if you do, it's great. More important is what devotional service you do. Chant more tomorrow. If you are chanting 16, chant 64, 32. Chant 50 rounds, 108 rounds. Chant more, read more, hear more. Do some more devotional activities tomorrow. That will be perfection of Ekadashi. That is how we will develop more relationship with the Lord. Right? On the same line, in the last slide, Prabhupada says, this is very, very important. The whole thing what we spoke today, in all 12 cantos of Bhagavatam, Prabhupada summarizes in this one paragraph. He says, one should learn how to associate with devotees of the Lord by gathering with them to chant the glories of the Lord. First, this process is most purifying. As devotees thus develop their loving friendship, they feel mutual happiness and satisfaction. And by thus encouraging one another, they are able to give up material sense gratification, which is the cause of all sufferings. The cause of all sufferings is material sense gratification. मुझे ये चाहिए, उसको ये चाहिए, उसी के ऊपर झगड़ा. मुझे ये चाहिए, मुझे मिलता ही नहीं. Whole lifetime I am behind that. Material suffering. The cause of all suffering is that. And how we can get out of that? By developing relation with devotees. That's what Prabhupada is summarizing. So why we are coming for all these Fridays for so many years? For this one thing. So if we develop this one thing in our life, that is relationship with devotees, and this is developed by sitting together and chanting. This is developed by sitting together and discussing Hari Katha. It is developed by coming together and doing seva. So when this hall has to be set up, so many things has to be done. We all just come and sit. Some come at 8, some come at 8:30, 9 o'clock, 10 whatever time. But before that, so much setup has to be done. So many devotees come together and do this setup. So many services has to be done in the background. We don't have a center. Tomorrow we have a center. So many services needs to be done. So when we do all these things, that helps us to grow in our bhakti. It's a very strange or very surprising thing. We grow in our bhakti when we do seva. When we do seva. So tomorrow is very, very auspicious day to do all those services, right? So this one paragraph summarizes entire thing. Then why we are coming here, what is that we should be doing, or what is the objective or goal of what that bhakti that we are practicing, right? So that gets me to the end. So thank you very, very much for patiently listening. Also, as I said, tomorrow is Nirjala Ekadashi. So please, I request you all to do something, because these days are very, very auspicious. Something we will do in our bhakti, it will give us lot of security. We don't realize, for us it's any other day. But Saturday है. It is not Saturday. Tomorrow is Pandav's Nirjala Ekadashi. साल में एक ही बार आएगा. तो अगले साल आने के लिए हमको रुकना पड़ेगा तब तक कोविड, फोर्थ वेव, फिफ्थ वेव क्या क्या आएगा पता नहीं. जो कल है, let us do something. हो सकता है तो ऑफिस से ऑफ ले लो, हाफ डे आओ, थोड़ा जल्दी आओ. Do something more if you are not getting time. Some other activities है, थोड़ा curtail करो, reduce it a little bit. So it's very, very important. If we do bhakti tomorrow, it will help us in our devotional service, right? So on this day, let us pray for each other, that we take each other's sadhu sangha, and we also help and encourage each other for growing and practicing in our devotional service. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.